好的日子晚宴。
With apologies to John Adams opera fans, these are not the auditions for the Beijing company's production of Schreiner in China. These singers were just out enjoying a warm, beautiful afternoon with several million of their neighbors. It's Thursday morning, our first full day here, and the atmosphere is like a national holiday. The Forbidden City is swarming with tourists from everywhere. The mood here is absolutely giddy. With China's economy booming and the city preparing to host the 2008 Summer Olympics, Beijing has turned almost overnight from the king-size version of Youngstown, Ohio, into a neo-Paris. The mood is articulated by this Forbidden City tour guide who identifies himself as Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, this is my living.
Really?
Yes.
How much money do you make?
Well, it's hard to say. Probably $5,000 US yearly.
Is that enough to live on?
Enough, but not very much. I don't have a car. I want to get more money to buying a nice car.
More Beijing residents are ditching the once ubiquitous bicycle and buying cars. That's good because it helps you get around this gigantic and confusing city faster and easier. It's bad because traffic is usually congested and crazy. And worst of all, it's aggravating the permanent pallor of pollution that turns the sky a thickening and sickening shade of greenish gray. But environmental degradation is not spoiling the fun. Tiananmen Square, once a symbol of government repression and violence, feels today more like the taste of Chicago. The portrait of Mao Zedong still stares out over the exploited masses. But his presence is less intimidating and more like Mickey Mouse welcoming you to the world's largest communist theme park. Mao is again the icon of a revolution, not political or cultural this time, but economic. In the shadows of Mao's working-class heroes, whose statues you can almost hear weeping, the square embodies the capitalism Mao and the communists fought to destroy. Street vendors and corporate marketeers are everywhere, aggressively targeting foreigners like my brother Wayne and his wife Eleanor, who've lived in Beijing for years. First, it's Mao's famous Little Red Book of his political poems and philosophy. Now it's as worthless as the ideology he glorified. You can't give these away. What's of real value in today's China? Well, the Mao wristwatch. Wayne bargains the price down from 100 yuan to 15, about $2 US, but still passes. Eleanor, however, snarfs up the Mao cigarette lighter, which caps off the merchandising of the great helmsman by playing a revolutionary anthem. Meanwhile, just a few meters away, crowds line up outside Mao's tomb to pay their respects and watch him roll over. Even the once frightening and pervasive People's Liberation Army, which could make dissidents disappear faster than David Copperfield, now spends its time parading harmlessly, or preening for each other's pictures. Wayne tells me that in the time he and Eleanor have known Beijing, it's much better now. He says that even though the air is ugly, the pollution problem and life in general here is better since capitalism won the Cold War. It's this incredible turnaround and staggering irony that make Beijing one of the most perplexing and fascinating places on the planet. On Sunday, we leave Beijing and lose about 30 degrees, but gain about 10,000 feet when we go to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. I'll file my next report from there early next week, and then a few days after that, hopefully, my next report will come from Shigatse, on the road to the holiest mountain in the world, Mount Kailash. I'm Ken Schreiner. Thanks for clicking, and see you next time on The Landscape.